So as the White House issues its strongest condemnation so far of Israel attack on a UN school, hostilities continued as normal in Gaza today. The total number of Palestinians killed topped the 1,400 mark as the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he would not stop the offensive until his military had destroyed all of Hamas's terror tunnels. Hamas, for its part, continued sending rockets over the border. Tonight, we'll be revealing the first signs of divisions in the government here over its response to the crisis. But first, let's hear from our correspondents on the ground. In a moment, Inigo Gilmore reporting from Tel Aviv. But first, to Paul Mason, who has spent the day with families finding out the realities of life in the war zone. Paul.
John, when Gazans hear the United States condemn Israel over the attack on the school and then simultaneously resupply the Israeli army with more bombs to drop on them, they think two things. First, that nobody really cares about them here in the darkened Gaza city behind me. And second, for the military guys here, they think, well, we're winning because we've been fighting this highly professional army for 23 days and they can't beat us and they've run out of ammunition. Now, beyond the diplomacy and the bravado stand the lives of children. 2/3 of Gaza's population are under the age of 16. And I spent the day hearing their stories from their own voices, and they are stories of incredible resilience. Wrecked apartments are normal now in Gaza. This is the new normal. The Israelis hit the Al-Susi mosque early Wednesday. For Gaza's children, the world has become frightening and surreal. They clamour for bread, the men giving it not keen to be identified. For Bisan, aged 10, life changed when those missiles hit. They're praying over there, yeah?
The mosque is completely down. I'm scared when I walk underneath, in case it falls. Or they attack it again.
It's falling down into there. There was nobody killed. There'd been a warning shot, but the apartment block is wrecked. Where you live? Up there. Up there?
Yes. Hello.
Keep going. With complete composure, she showed me the ruins of her home. 30 members of her family live in this house. This is your place, is it? Doors blown off. This is where she sleeps. Wait a minute. What is it? That's your clothes. What else? There's your computer. What do you learn there on the computer? English? English.
It was 2 o'clock and my dad carried me on his shoulders and took me to the neighbour's house. Then there were 2 drone strikes and 2 from F-16s.
The children here know the sound of every weapon.
But Dad went back in, and I was crying, scared, because 2 more bombs went off.
They keep calm, carry on, make bread. But her older brother has nightmares from the last invasion. These are children for whom nighttime brings terror most soldiers will never see. Dad, who survived the blast, is no supporter of Hamas, but he's outraged at what his kids are living through.
Israel thinks by doing this they'll separate people from the resistance. But those who are against Hamas, who hate Hamas, now cling to them to protect us. They're saying go and hit Israel, just like they're hitting us.
With 425,000 Palestinians displaced, half of them to places like this, the UNRWA school, it's the children who suffer most. When they can't cling on to their homes, families are crammed into places like this. 2/3 of all the people in Gaza are under 16, so this is a children's war, and for some, it's the third war they've seen in their lifetime. Yusuf is 15. His family have left Jabalia, which is a war zone, and now live among 20 people, well, in a corner.
They shelled our house and destroyed it with a tank. I saw it on a small hill. I was a little bit young.
He's telling me about events 8 years ago. This family and this boy have lived through 3 invasions.
I want to wake up one morning and be free like in other countries. I want to become a doctor to treat the wounded.
UNRWA, the UN agency that runs this camp, describes the situation as a precipice. The camps are short of water. Disease is breaking out. Children are built resilient, so we won't know the long-term damage done to them for years. Well, John, there are humanitarian crises in all wars, but this one, the danger is it takes on strategic proportions. We are looking now at a situation where the UN is so stretched that it might not be able to cope. If the UN can't feed those children and house those children, the militant groups will try to do it. They'll be thrown effectively right back into their hands that everybody is worried about them being in. On top of that, Palestinians who have long memories about being displaced are beginning to think this. Look, 40% of the land is currently unlivable. They're asking, is Israel's strategy to make it permanently unlivable? Permanent ghost towns like the one behind me you can't see in the dark, Shajaiya. If so, the danger then becomes that Gaza cannot cope with the amount of displaced people, a quarter of the population displaced. What then? Maybe somebody suggests they go someplace else. That is what is in the minds of the people here. And that is, as you heard in that report, what is continuing to throw them, even quite moderate Palestinians, into the arms of Hamas and Islamic Jihad and totally standing behind the fighters out there 2 or 3 kilometres away in the tunnels.
Paul Mason, on the ground in Gaza.